Okay, so here we are, fucking Aaron and Austin show, still sweating our ass off, sitting in a teepee.
Live in the lodge.
Live at the fucking lodge, day 2, here we are. And we got the National Patriots.
The Nation of Patriots.
Nation of Patriots. Sorry, I got my glasses on. But Nation of Patriots, they did a fucking cool-ass show yesterday. They rolled around the whole entire place, but we'll let you guys kind of tell everybody what it was about and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so Nation of Patriots, we're a national 501c3. Every penny that we raise goes right back to veterans. So there's nobody in this organization, from the executive up in Wisconsin to us regional commanders, that get anything. Everything goes right back to the veterans.
And a lot of you guys are probably veterans too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not a veteran. Joe is a veteran.
Yeah, I knew Joe was, for sure.
Or he claims to be.
Joe's a fucking Eagle Scout. People don't even know that.
He still is.
I know shit about Joe. I know shit about Joe.
Oh, we got him. That's his wife, so we can take her backstage later, and we can tell her all kinds of shit about him.
I know some things.
Yeah. So anyway, this is our 14th year of doing this. A guy out of Wisconsin started it all. The first year we don't talk about, because when he left, he went through like 13 states and he came home with like $800, and everybody's just kind of like, go away, we don't want you.
Yeah. I mean, when you first start something, it's always an uphill struggle.
It is. Yeah. So
it takes momentum. Yep. It takes some time.
Absolutely, it does. So when he got home, he went to his favorite bar, and there sat 2 of his buddies he had no idea were there. And he looked at him and he said, "This son of a bitch is not gonna fail." 14 years later, here we are.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's just, the work they put in. So I cover Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. I'm a regional commander for them. My name's Ryan Mitchell. So every year we take the flag through all 50 states, and I do mean Hawaii and Alaska. Because when it goes through all the states, when it gets to Vegas, thanks to the military, they pick it up and they take it to Hawaii for 2 days. They bring it to Alaska for 2 days, back to Vegas, gets back on a bike, and off it goes.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, in raising money in this, I've known Joe here for a long time. Him and his wife, Brandy, I'm glad she's here because she keeps him in line. But Mad Rock's Bar and Grill in Derby, Kansas, is a great place, and it's owned by a veteran.
Yep.
So we're a better good place to go.
Is that what you're part of? Is that your place?
That's Joe's place.
What's that place in Derby?
Mad Rock's Sports Bar and Grill.
That's your joint, Joe?
You ain't never been there?
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't
Dude,
even know that.
where in the hell you been?
I knew. Okay, let's say I knew shit about Joe. I don't know shit about Joe.
I mean, he's got bands.
You don't know
I
everything.
used to know shit about Joe.
I mean, they have a band there every now and then. They have karaoke. Great food to just go in and get a burger or pizza or whatever you want.
Nice.
And a full bar. I mean, it's a great place. Biggest place in Derby?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Sandbox is fucking giant joint.
That's fundraiser.
Well, thanks for ruining that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because they're a pest control client of mine. Other than that, they built that huge. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and we can use that. So
we'll cut that part.
About 3 years ago, during the COVID, instead of passing the flag, we did videos, and Joe was my flag bearer that year.
Oh, nice.
And so he was the one responsible for moving the flag from one
stop.
stop.
Don't pull that video up, please.
Yeah, I won't right now.
So where can we access that video, bro?
It's in my pocket, but he had his Speedo on, so I mean.
American.
But yeah, I'll get it to you.
We'll promote it if you guys want to put it on this interview.
We will. Yeah, I'll get it to you.
I mean, anything you guys want to do, we will put it on this interview, no problem.
Yeah. But every year after that, he's been crying because he thinks he got shorted because he didn't get to put the flag on the back of his bike and take it. He had to do a video. But a video, I can control his exposure. See, on the back of the bike, once somebody sees you, then I'm just screwed. That's why I keep telling you, let your wife ride your bike. You'll have a way better turnout.
I do sidecar.
Oh, do you sidecar?
No, I don't. I mean, I got a ultra classic, but why not just sidecar? Drive me around. I'd roll on a sidecar.
Oh shit, I would. Sidecar.
So the money that you raise through your nonprofit, how does that benefit veterans? What do you do with the money?
So what happens is the money we raise here in Kansas stays here in Kansas.
Nice.
And so last year, in 2022, I helped out 22 veterans and gave out a little over $83,000.
Beautiful. Like medical bills or... I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff.
The only thing that we don't pay for, really, the only thing we really don't pay for is child support. I can't tell you how many hot water heaters, how many house payments, how many bought cars,
medical bills.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of like that you draw the line at child support too. That's a good That's a good place to draw the line. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
It's a good place to draw the line.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to take care of that shit yourself.
Exactly.
I got 2 kids, motherfucker. Take care of that shit yourself. You made them.
Yeah. So I mean, I helped a veteran here 2 years ago put a water heater in his house. He ain't had hot water in 5 years.
Oh wow.
You know how he heated up his water?
Don't. I don't even.
Stove.
Nope.
No, I knew it was gonna be worse than that. Tell me.
His grill, his propane grill. That's all he had
Outside?
water.
No way.
Bring it in, put it in the tub, and that's where he got his bath water.
That seems cost
5
prohibitive real quick.
years, no hot water.
Jesus.
We put a hot water heater in there, and I gave him an extra $500 check. I didn't realize he had a 5-year-old grandson. He still could not buy a present for Christmas, and this is like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Wow.
See, anybody that's worked hard for our country in any shape or form like that shouldn't be left out on the cold. Like that.
Absolutely,
I agree.
absolutely.
And that's the gap that they fill, and why I support them so highly. Because when you transition out of the military to the civilian world, there's no handbook, there's no SOP. The VA can only do so much, and they fill the gap. And that's why I stand 100% behind them for what they do, is because no one takes a fucking dime, and it all goes back to
That's really the organizations you're looking for. That
Exactly.
like where their CEOs aren't sitting and fucking fat catting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of those organizations still kick some money out, but fuck you, kick it all out. That's what you do. If you're really about that noise and this is what you're really doing, kick all that money out. Then.
So our finances are on our homepage. You can literally go see our last year's taxes.
What is that homepage?
That's awesome.
www.nationofpatriots.com.
We'll tag that in the interview in the description.
Now, you can also go to Facebook and go to nationofpatriots.com. That's the national one. You can go to the one for Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and that's the one that I run. And that's Nation of Patriots Midwest region, because they cover the 3 states. So go to that one, and that's where I update. And that's where I push my sponsors. That's where I
cool.
I give all the stuff out there. So follow that, link it, and I'll put some videos on there and stuff.
Okay, well give us a quick description of what we got to see yesterday for everybody that doesn't know what you guys do when you roll this.
So yesterday when we came in, we were supposed to go to Fredonia, but because of the rain we couldn't. So we flagged up in Goddard. We had about 55, 60 bikes, and the Wichita Motor Patrol. So all 8 of their motorcycles.
Oh, very cool.
The only reason
You
we
guys have some fire
That's
department
awesome.
and shit too
Oh, yeah.
out here?
Yeah. But the only reason we didn't get the 9th bike is because the guy went into work last Friday and retired.
Oh, well, that happens.
wow.
Good for
Otherwise,
him.
we'd had all 9 of them.
Good for him, man.
So we came here. I had McConnell Air Force Base, their color guard holding the flags, and I had Sedgwick County Fire Department out here with 2 of their ladder trucks because they hung that 30-foot by 60 or 70-foot flag that we got to all ride underneath.
Amazing.
As we come in and make our presence. We did a flag raising ceremony when we put the flag up, and then I did my ceremony, and we do. We pick a veteran. I shouldn't say veteran. We pick a patriot every year. It's called the Patriot Award. We started it 3 years ago, and the reason why we started it is because we were introduced to a gentleman that at the time was 90 years old. He was in the military for 27 years. He jumped out of an airplane, and I am not shitting you, more than 832 times.
Wow.
That's where they lost count.
I don't like
crazy.
jumping down from a couple steps.
He never crashed. He never had a parachute fail. Nothing. I mean, he landed. He complains that the reason why he's like 5'3" now is because when he started he was 7'6".
Oh, dude,
The hard
Yeah.
I
landings,
guarantee,
too.
even though if he makes a joke like that, he has compressed his spine and knees and shit, and it is shorter than he was because of it.
Yeah.
100% has.
But I guarantee, his granddaughter was one of our volunteers, and I just seen him like a month ago. He's now 94, and he gets up and barely uses a cane.
Yep. He
80
just
or
hauls
800
around this,
Dude, you
this
can't.
big wheelbarrow.
There's nothing about, and I always love giving this compliment to military man. There's nothing like the work ethic and the keep going that them guys have.
True.
Yep.
Like that's why they're great employees to hire for your businesses. That's why, I mean, they really are just the military guys. Show up on time,
Yep.
do what the fuck you ask, and they're good fucking people for the most of them.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes.
glad that you guys are doing something for them.
And I've gotten stuff out of Joe's bar. People that have. He has one of my flags because I make these wooden flags and donate them and sell them and stuff, and the money goes back
Beautiful.
to veterans. And I made one for him, and he hung it. He broke the first. Then I gave him a second one, and
Fell off a ladder. Took it down with me.
This shit happens.
yeah.
We won't bring it up again.
But I've sold a couple of them off of that, and people that are in there because his employees know about us, and so if somebody ever says something, I've had a couple come up and go, hey, they told me I'd come over and talk to you, and man, what do you need? What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's go have a cigarette. Let's
Yeah.
do whatever, So, and the cool thing is I'm getting more and more veterans when they're starting to feel the need to end it or whatever. I'm getting more and more of them that'll call me just through when I'm trying to push it out and stuff, my media and that type of thing.
They reach you through your platforms.
Yeah,
through your
there you go.
platforms.
Yeah. And I've got a list of veterans. I don't care if it's 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the morning. I can call one and say, listen, this dude wants talking now. They'll get up out of bed. They'll go get them, take them for coffee, do whatever. So more and more people are calling me, and it just makes me feel that much better because I'm helping veterans another way.
That's awesome.
And,
That's awesome.
and what's great is you get to use veterans to help veterans because the brotherhood of those guys is like you only can kind of experience that as a civilian if you played a lot of sports or something.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not the same, but it's close. But when you those guys have a sense of brotherhood that I'm always in awe of. No matter what department of the military they run with, it's always nice when I get to see that brotherhood mix up. It's cool when
But
veterans run into veterans, man.
It's kind of their own demise though, because they're the hardest to reach.
Yep.
Because we're the proudest.
The pride.
We don't want to ask for the help. So by all means, if anybody's out there and you have any needs at all,
Talk
please
to them
reach
right
out.
here, Joe. Talk to them right. Tell them.
Please reach out to us.
Please, these guys are here to help. So and again, I'll reiterate what Joe just said. We're all proud alpha males and we get it, but we all need some fucking help, and it's okay to ask for it, no matter how or long or whatever you've been struggling. There's people here working for you, and not just in the military, anywhere. We can spread this out to everybody. So there's somebody there for you.
So things happen to all of us. We all experience trauma.
Right, we do, man.
And why can't we just kind of come down a little bit from our ego?
Takes a village.
And can we just, hey man, this is my problem, bro. This is like, I need help here, bro.
And most of the time, people don't realize that a lot of motherfuckers are going through the same shit you're going through.
And you
there
won't
will
know
be
until you
somebody
open
there
up.
for you. There will be somebody for you. Believe it or not.
Yep. And so my slogan, if you will, if I don't know, I can't help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me. I've got to know so I can help you, so I can get you back going.
We'll find someone.
5 years without hot air.
Let me know
without
where you're
water,
at.
That's BS.
Yeah, like just because he didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Guys,
Absolutely.
Guys, the Forgotten 22, okay?
Yep.
It's the Forgotten 22, and we have to do our best to lower that number.
I mean, most of the applications I get are either a friend or a wife, or and they can fill it out for them. And so, that's how I get involved. Then I'll call the veteran, and most of them will warm up and talk to me.
Yeah, when you talk to them, they're cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they talk, because
You got to reach out.
they got to reach out.
You got to have a name. You got to have a number.
Yep.
So again, you got to accept the help.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, help me help you.
Exactly.
I mean, help me help you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys right now. You give them all your credentials, but I'll tell you right now, you got people sitting in front of you that are willing to help you, and they're donating all their time and money. So make sure that you get out and support them. To give us all your platforms. Where do we get all this?
You can get the information at nationofpatriots.com on the internet. You can go to Facebook, Nation of Patriots. You can also go to Facebook on Nation of Patriots Midwest region. That is Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. That is me.
So they have multiple regions, guys. So you can get a hold of the one that goes everywhere, and you can get a hold of his that's in this tri-state area.
Yep.
So and you can always follow Joe Williams. He has a bunch of snarky, funny shit every week on his.
And my phone number, my email is on the Nation of Patriots Midwest region. My phone number and email is there, so use it.
So what do you need most? Well,
I need applications. I need veterans to come to me and say, "Man, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help."
The funds
I need that.
are there.
I think if they knew, I think if they knew who they're dealing with and people like you, I think they'd maybe be more open to it. So we'll help spread the word as best we can.
Do it. Awesome.
Yep.
That'd be great.
This
Thank you guys.
dude's
Man,
name
you're awesome.
is Wide Reach. His biker name, riding name for a reason. It's not because he's a big dude, but his reach is wide, man. And one of the most selfless
Or kindred
things.
spirits, brother.
Amen.
Yeah, all good, brother.
No, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. I'm surprised that's the first time this fell off.
I thought you guys told me there's an engineer here somewhere.
He's an engineer.
So you've dealt with engineers before, right?
Oh yeah. I'm used to this. So I'm gonna go get the founder of Nation of Patriots because he's from Wisconsin and his ass is here.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna bring him in here and we're gonna do this again.
Okay.
I'd love to meet him. Yeah,
We got time for you.
Yep, we're coming back.
got time for
Give me
you.
10, 15 minutes.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
we'll be here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, hey, we're just gonna do a fucking continuation of that last episode.
We're live.
So the Patriot Tour, we actually have the founder sitting in now. We had the Midwest regional guy that does all the stuff around here who's doing amazing things. He
Ryan
went and got
Mitchell.
the finder, so the founder. So let us know.
So we were lucky this year because the damn jam that I was able to get the founder down here from Wisconsin. Him and Rick and Sherry came down there, our CFO and our tell me, Bill.
National Military Affairs Officer.
Awesome.
Like that.
So they're all down here. So to have the founder here for the Nation of Patriots to do, to talk to us a little bit, and what sparked this in his mind. I mean, just like I said earlier,
Are you veteran?
No,
I'm not.
Neither one of us are.
Oh, wow.
But he's the one that started this by putting a flag in the back of his bike, and he had a mission, he had a dream, and he never let it die. And you know as well as I do, it took a lot of fucking hours to get this here.
Yeah. So tell me the mission. Tell me the vision. What made this happen?
So long story short.
Yeah.
I knew a couple of guys while I was in college. that were straight up Marines. I mean, these guys, they went to boot camp, they did the thing, they were just jacked.
Right.
And while I was in college, the towers came down out in New York.
Gotcha.
And all of a sudden, these boys got on a plane and they were gone. They were out of my life. I went on with college, and all of a sudden, they came home. And man, they weren't the same people.
Yeah.
I continued on with college. I graduated, got a big fancy job in Chicago, and these guys just kept suffering. It wasn't their fault. I mean, they PTSD.
No, I've seen it. Yeah, I know.
I can't even imagine. As all of us are non-military people, I can't even imagine what those guys have been through and seen and had to deal with.
It's horrendous, man. And so just talking to them, started to learn about others who are like them. And it just opened my eyes like, holy cow, here I am sitting on my butt drinking great whiskey and doing nothing, absolutely nothing except having a good time. And these are the dudes that are actually doing something about it. They need some help. And that just sparked something in my ass, and I got up and started a nonprofit. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I called a lawyer.
Well, you're a smart guy. It seems like you got a little bit of education, and he told us a little bit about how the first one. You're like, the first one's always rough. Like any festival, any concert, any podcast, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Your first day at a fucking job. Yeah. Any of that shit is a little rough.
Well, whatever you're doing, there's trial and error that comes into play there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, we
failed.
We're filming at the minute right now, so give us a sec, please.
We failed miserably. I mean, it was terrible. But we had an idea, right? And we tried it. It sucked. It was terrible, but we learned a lot of lessons. And at the end of the day, we set out to raise money for these families.
Yeah.
And we came, or I came home because I was the only idiot out there on my motorcycle. And I came home halfway through the tour. We had this huge thing set. I made it halfway around the United States. I crossed over the Mississippi, actually into Kansas, and I ran out of money. And I went home. So
how'd you get home out of money? Did you still just ride home?
I barely had enough.
You had enough for gas money to get home?
Barely on fumes. So I got home. The year went on. I went looking for a job, and all of a sudden, the guy that was helping me with the finances called me later in the year. He said, "Hey, man, we still have $2,100 in the bank. What do you want to do with this?" And I was like, I called the Milwaukee VA and I said, "We got $2,100. We have to give it all away. Can you find me a couple families that we can hand this money to?"
Yeah.
And they came back with 3 families and said, "Can you split this up 3 ways?" And I said, "Yeah."
Let's go.
So it just happened to be right before Christmas. We walked into the VA hospital. It was snowing to beat hell. And they sat us down in this little tiny room. There was barely enough room for all of us to fit in there. And they took the families in one at a time. And we talked about what we did, how we did it. And at the end of the conversation, we slid a check across the table. And man, it was waterworks. Just everybody in the room just.
I'm sure, dude.
And it's $700. You know, it's not a ton of money.
It's not life-changing amounts.
But for them, it was.
It is. For them, it was. And
And
that feeling to be able to even to hand out that little bit of amount of money to
for
somebody
sure.
that really needs it is a great feeling.
I'll tell
Well,
you.
and they get the
It's a
same amount
drug.
every month. Yeah.
It's a fucking drug, man. It really is. Helping people like that is a drug. It's good to help them, man.
It's amazing,
was
man.
14 years ago, man. That feeling is something that I chase all around the country as a volunteer, and every time as a leader of the organization, I could see it almost on a daily basis. So you're right. It's like a drug.
It is, because my great co-host here also runs a nonprofit, all ages, non-alcoholic music venue to help at-risk children get into the music industry. And I see his face light up when he gets to help people. Like,
That's awesome.
And
When it works, it's so beautiful, man. So,
when it works,
absolutely.
it really is. And I like it sometimes when it takes people from outside of the thing they're trying to help things.
Yep.
Like sometimes it takes a guy that's got a little business savvy or a marketing degree or whatever you got, a little bit of something to help these veterans with the, run this thing in the right direction so we can get some help for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad to see you pick that torch up and are running with it for 14 years now.
Yeah, I ran with it
amazing,
for
man.
a couple of years, but it's been growing so fast. And now it's guys like this all around the country that are taking that torch, man, and they are running with it.
Well, you're doing a smart thing because everybody I've met that's involved with this is passionate, good person.
So, Bill, tell them what the good news is, Bill.
So the Patriot Tour, instead of me riding around on my motorcycle in 2010, we switched it to an American flag being passed by Americans around the country for these veterans. And it gives everybody a chance to take hold of that flag and actually do something. They don't have to start a nonprofit. They just got to show up, take this thing on a ride.
Just a little step helps.
Just a little step. They don't have to put any money on the table. They could just go for a ride if they want. So anyway, that's how we started in 2010. And to our shock, that flag left Wisconsin, and it made its way all the way back around the 48
What'd you think?
states.
Is it getting back when you let it go?
I almost shit my pants, man.
Well, what was your percentage? Like what? 40% maybe this makes it back?
I was like, there's no way, man.
Yeah. But then you see the kind of people you're helping and you realize the dedication that the military people bring.
Yeah.
They have an unwielding dedication that is hard to teach. Like, that is one thing our American military does teach is a lot of hard work and dedication.
For sure.
And those guys are dedicated, very dedicated men.
Well, and I know too.
And women, men and women, excuse me.
Right, and I know too. You know, when I cover 3 states. Bill's got all 50 of them. But you know, you're driving home and you're going, dude, that flag just moved 15 states in the last whatever days because we follow it.
Does it have like a tracker on it, like an Apple tracker?
It used to, but everybody kept leaving it behind, and we'd have to call somebody and say, "Hey, man, you got the tracker at your house?" And they'd say, "No, we don't." And for one instance, it was left in a guy's barn, and we Google mapped him. And I said, "Hey, you got a red barn in your backyard?" And he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh, yeah. You got the guy that's like, "They're watching me already, motherfucker." Now you call it this.
It just got.
It was his worst nightmare come true, probably.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But anyway, so the good news is we've been doing that around the country. After 10 years of doing that from Wisconsin, we finally saw how much impact it has for us in Wisconsin. I mean, tons of people show up. We raise a ton of money for our state. We decided to let other states do it.
Yeah.
And so 2020 went to Arizona. Obviously, COVID, that sucked pretty hard. But 2021, it went to Vegas, then to Erie, Pennsylvania. This year's host is Nebraska. And next year's host is none other than Kansas, man.
Nice.
And that is our 15th year next year.
Hey, Kansas will support its military very well. They always
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
There's a lot of military personnel in this family.
Yeah.
I grew up with military personnel in my family, so
Yeah.
I know what it's like. So how can they get on the National Patriot Tour? Tell us all the stuff.
NationofPatriots.com, all the social pages, everything.
All right.
We're out there,
Awesome.
man. Check out the Patriot Tour page. It's right on the website.
And I know that they have. I don't know if you guys know, but Kyle, the guy that's doing the drone work and videography around here, really cut something together cool for you guys.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it already?
He said,
Yeah.
"Here, let me show you this."
Yeah.
And I went in and I was just like, "You've got to be kidding me."
Yeah. And that motherfucker,
Yeah.
Kyle, he did our show yesterday.
Yeah.
What a talented kid.
Oh my
19-year-old kid. He's cutting that he's doing drone and live footage and cutting that shit together here on site.
I mean,
Yeah.
the way he did the
Right?
bikes coming underneath that flag because the wind was blowing, holding that big flag like.
Oh, he nailed it. He
I
nailed it.
mean, you can't.
He
and then
fucking
he took
nailed
the
it.
kid that did the national anthem
And put it,
noise.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, he
You know,
nailed
so,
it.
I mean, that's me
Shout
and Doug talking about
out
that.
to Kyle. Shout out to
yeah.
Kyle.
Hell yeah. 'Cause, thanks Kyle for doing that. I mean, that's great footage for us for going forward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
That's,
and he'll let you just fucking take that run and fucking put it on all your promos, man.
Yep.
It literally is that good of work.
Yep.
It really is that good. So shout out to Kyle and shout out to the Patriot Tour guys. Thanks
Yeah,
for
man.
coming on and doing
Thank
the
you guys
show.
very much for doing what you're doing, man.
Support these guys. We got
That's
2
big stuff.
non-military personnel looking out for the veterans in this country. We need more of that.
We all got to look out for each other, really.
Yeah, we're all looking out for each other. We're all Americans in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Let's
So-
make it
and-
work.
And all the people that
That's
go
it.
to work for us, believe it or not, we pay for the military to do work for us.
Yep.
So we need to treat
true.
these people with respect.
Go Brandon.
Yeah.
Let's make it
All
work.
right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys, man. I really appreciate it.